Mountain biking's roots go pretty far back here in Arkansas. Today we'll talk with one of the pioneers. We'll also see how to maintain biking trails by attending a cleanup at Hot Springs Northwoods venue. And how do Arkansas minnows do on a Florida big bass lake? You'll soon find out, and get a primer on kayaks. All in this episode of Arkansas's Great Outdoors. In a previous episode, we highlighted the amazing history of Devil's Den State Park and the Civilian Conservation Corps, put together during the Great Depression to give people meaningful work on something that will last for generations. Devil's Den State Park is a tribute to their efforts. But the history doesn't stop there. When mountain biking was just getting started, Tim Scott was there.
Probably get way too much credit because there's a lot of people at the time involved and helpful. It's just, I was lucky enough, kind of as I always say, right place, right time. In the mid-'80s, we started seeing a lot of mountain bikes coming into the park, and there were really no trails. And in fact, a lot of places, they weren't allowing mountain bikers on trails. They just didn't see them as legitimate trail users. Well, it has really been great. Through the foresight of the Arkansas Parks Foundation, they helped start building the mountain monument trails in the different parks, which have been a great hit and very popular and are world-renowned trails. But just that, the explosion of mountain biking in Northwest Arkansas, Central Arkansas, it's really been unbelievable. And we like to, Devil's Den, think at least some of it's kind of had its pathway through the park to where it is today. Well, this is the a mountain bike campground. It has 6 campsites and it's for mountain bikers to come and use. And the great thing about this is you can come, park your car, come to your campsite, and it's also the trailhead for the Devil's Racetrack mountain bike trail. So you can start here and it will tie into the other trails. So you could really start here and get about 20 miles worth of riding before you came back to your campsite. It's really interesting because the monument trails, we can kind of tie the CCC to the mountain biking because all the monument trails have, for us, have a historic names that relate back to the Civilian Conservation Corps. Part of one of the trails, Devil's Racetrack, was named by the CCC. And then we named All You Can Eat, which their kind of slogan was All You Can Eat and We Can Take It. All You Can Eat and $1 a day, those are names of the different trails too. So we kind of tied in so it related to the park. It really has worked. Depending on time of year, we get a lot of mountain bikers from not just in-state, but out of state, especially in areas of the northern Midwest. In late spring, when it's still too cold and iced up there to ride, they like to come down here. And so it's really benefited everybody.
Our friends at the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas are all about making sure we enjoy the outdoors safely. This is one of the most important segments of this show. Follow these tips and you are on your way to always being able to enjoy the outdoors.
Hi, my name's Kirsten Bartlow with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Today I'm here to talk about how to get introduced to the sport of paddling. We have thousands of miles of rivers, streams, and bayous in Arkansas, and the trick is to learn which bodies of water are best for you and your skills. A great way to do that is to get involved with the Arkansas Canoe Club. They have 10 chapters around the state. They offer schools in the spring for the river recreational paddling as well as whitewater paddling. So get involved with the Canoe Club, meet other folks that want to teach you more about paddling, and find folks to get out on the water with.
When we come back, we take a field trip to Florida with some certified Arkansas minnows hoping for a certifiable largemouth bass on Lake Toho. Arkansas's great outdoors is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, by Visit Hot Springs, America's first resort, by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, by Vexus Boats, and by Certified Arkansas Baitfish, the safe bait.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
So when I first started hiking, finding the right shoe for me was probably the most intimidating thing to consider. There's so many options, as you can tell. So we're gonna break down probably the 3 most common options that you're gonna encounter. First is like a trail running shoe. Now these shoes will look very similar to a tennis shoe. They're gonna have a little bit more traction, but the main thing about these is they're very flexible compared to the other hiking shoe. So not a ton of support, but a lot of flexibility with the traction. Next, we have your day hiking shoe. So this is gonna be a little bit more rugged than your trail hikers. They're gonna have some really great traction on the bottom. They might be water resistant or even waterproof. They have a little bit more firmness in the outer sole, so it's going to require less time to break in than maybe a multi-day backpacker shoe, but it's still going to give you some really great support. Next is your backpacker boot. Now these guys, I highly recommend if you're gonna go backpacking, get these about a month before because they need to be broken in or else you're going to get blisters. These have a really rigid outer sole. The lug pattern on the bottom is going to be much deeper. With the lug pattern being deeper though, the tighter the lug pattern is, the more the mud is going to stick. So depending on what terrain you're going to be going in, you really want to look at what that pattern is. Another great accessory or something to consider when you're buying a boot or one of your hiking shoes is an ice spike. Now these go on the bottom of the boot and that helps to add more traction. So if you're going through ice or snow, then it can really dig in and keep you safe.
Thank you, Mallory Lindsay and Bad Boy Mowers. You will see a little more on hiking a little later in the show when Mallory and Lee take part in a hiking and biking trail cleanup in Hot Springs. Now let's go southeast and visit legendary Lake Toho in Kissimmee, Florida, along with longtime professional bass angler Terry Seagraves. He's a longtime friend who is a great teacher of the sport, and today we take some certified Arkansas minnows to the big bass waters of the Sunshine State. Certified Arkansas minnows go all over the country, and here's why. All right, good morning, everybody. We are here early morning. The sun has yet to rise. We're seeing some hints of it in the east sky, but we got Terry Seagraves here. We're on Lake Toho. We're gonna be doing some shiner fishing today and showing how the live bait can really help you get on some fish.
Yeah, they really get after the live bait. It's almost like throwing candy at them sometimes, especially when you got a group of fish. They got to get to competing against that same live bait, and the shiners are pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna get set up. We'll be ready to roll here in just a few minutes. Any of these guys bite, I'm gonna fight them right-handed, just to show you.
Yeah, you want some?
No, I'm good. This will be good for me. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Lefties have learned to be ambidextrous in a lot of things. Have you ever seen a butter knife? Have you ever seen a left-handed butter knife?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. My grandmother used to have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Butter knives and scissors plague us, all while growing up.
There's this one over here. Yeah, I lost this one. You want me to try to catch this one?
No, I want you to catch that one, big boy.
He didn't blow up.
There we go.
Hope you learned something there.
I learned something right there.
Not a big one.
Hey, it's a fish.
But it's a fish first thing this morning. Getting bigger when he gets to the boat.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. This fish gets us on the board. The hook set timing will be the key today. As we were soon to find out, the bass were finicky, something that we are blaming on a north wind.
This is what we're fishing with. Beautiful shiner. That's about I call it 2 to 10. A 2-pounder, a 10-pounder hit that.
Okay.
When I'm hooking them, I'm just coming through the bottom lip. And pretty much you don't want to stab them in the brain, but right around their nostril, you won't bring it out the top lip, right around their nostril, about like that. So that's a perfect little shiner right there to be caught with this afternoon, this morning.
This is what our scene looks like. We have 3 bobbers on the water. It's a game of scanning to see which activity warrants a hook set.
Got him?
I got him.
Oh, you're kidding me.
The north wind had its effect, either on the fish or on our minds. Fishermen are like that, but we started to see more and more success until an unwanted species shook everything up. Okay,
That'd be a guard. Hit him hard. Oh, good God, look where he's at.
He took off running.
Oh, okay. We got a mess here.
Oh,
that's a good one there, I think. Oh, we got a mess.
That is a gar.
I knew it was a gar, the way he hit.
Yep.
Ah, nasty thing.
Okay, and now we got...
Oh, my gosh. Oh, Lordy.
Okay, hold on. I might have... Oh gosh.
He's making it worse.
Yeah.
Stupid fish. This is a mess.
This is a mess.
Holy smoke. Ah! Things are nasty.
There we go. Woo!
There goes your rain suit. But most of the time when you catch a fish, you kind of paralyze them, you kind of squeeze. Except for a gar. You kind of squeeze them at their gills.
Yeah.
It kind of pretty much paralyzes them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get this guy's mouth open or not. That was a disaster.
Right there, yeah, there you go. That's why you don't want to mess with a gar. You don't lip a gar, ever.
Yeah, they're razor sharp.
Yes. So here's what happens when you got 3 lines out and then a gar comes in through and just
Wrecks your
rips
junk.
through everything, crossing lines. It's gonna take us a minute to regroup here. After several minutes of retying lines and gathering bobbers and minnows, the team was finally back at it. There we go. Fish on. Hey, that's our biggest one today. I don't know how big he is, but he might be kind of decent, but not huge. So there we go. Okay. Oh, he is, yeah. Reeling him in right-handed, Terry. Come on, big mama. Here we go. Got the minnow right in the mouth right here, too. Okay. Have you wondered about all the options when buying a kayak? Well, Mallory Lindsay takes us on a tour of all of those options when we come back. Arkansas's Great Outdoors is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, by Visit Hot Springs, America's first resort, by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, by Vexus Boats, and by Certified Arkansas. Kayak fishing is a great way to get real close to the action, and even if you're just kayaking, it's a great way to be close to nature. But there are a lot of styles and features to look for in a kayak. Here's Mallory Lindsay to break down the options for us.
When looking into kayaking and trying to find your first kayak, definitely don't pass up looking into inflatables. They have a lot of pros. For instance, if you live in an apartment or you don't have a lot of space for storage, these can be deflated and stored in very tight spaces. Also, they're really great if you're going by yourself. I have one, and it is so much easier to drag one of these things out into the water than it is a full-blown kayak. There are some cons with these as well, though. For instance, it does take a little bit more time to inflate, deflate, and also, like anything that is inflatable, there are times where it can rip. Very unlikely, but there is a possibility. One of the best things that you can do when looking for an inflatable kayak is look to see if it is NMMA certified. So some of the pros include that they're the most lightweight kayaks out there. They're easy to pack away and they can come with their own storage bags oftentimes. One of my favorite things is that you don't need to purchase an extra kayak roof to transport them. You can easily just fold them up and stick them in your trunk. They also make mini kayaking accessories to help you get started. And they're one of the most affordable kayaks for beginners. So ultimately, the decision is up to you, but definitely don't pass up on inflatable kayaks. Hi everyone, I'm with Steve from Lifetime, and today we're going to talk about kayaks. Now, as you know, there's lots of shapes and sizes and options that you can choose from that it can kind of be a little intimidating. So Steve, can you tell us what's kind of the difference between these two common models?
Yeah, so typically there's two types of kayaks, sit inside and sit on top.
Okay.
And have different benefits, different feature sets. The benefits of a sit-in kayak are that it helps you protect from the elements. You're enclosed inside the cockpit, and so it kind of gives you a different ability to maneuver. As you're putting your legs in the kayak, you can turn a lot easier. A sit-on-top kayak, you're more open to the elements, so it's great for warm weather kayaking, where you're going to be, you're more likely to get splashed and wet,
Sure.
and so you're less protected, but it gives you a little bit more range of motion as you can move around. If you fall into the water or jump out of your kayak, you can easily jump back on with a sit-on-top kayak due to the scupper holes at the bottom of the kayak. So sit-on-tops are great for warm weather. Sit-insides are great for cold weather.
Or cold water.
Or cold water,
I
yeah.
do not like cold water, so having that skirt around me really kind of keeps me insulated and nice.
Yeah.
And I also noticed the shapes are a little different. So this is a little bit wider. Why is it? Is that for something specific?
Yeah, so typically an angler kayak is more catered for a sit-on-top kayak. And with an angler, you want to have good stability. And so the wider you get, the more stability you have. And as you're out fishing, you want to be able to have that strong stability. And with a sit-inside kayak, you're more looking for speed and tracking. And so these are more narrow.
I think this is the bad boy that I would want to go with. This is a hybrid, right? So
That's right.
the sit in and sit on combined.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this gives you the best of both worlds. When you have a sit-on-top kayak, it allows you to have the feature of the scupper holes, which if water gets on the top of your kayak, it can drain away through those scupper holes, which you don't get on a sit-inside. But with this hybrid, it has the canopy, the cover on top, so it gives you the protection of a sit-in with the benefits of a sit-on-top. And this is great if you live in northern climates where it's a little more chilly and you have more seasons. And if you want to kayak year-round, you can kayak in the cold weather and in the warm weather, and this kayak does it all.
Okay. Or if you're a baby like me and I live in Tennessee, but I love the water no matter what, this would be great for me too.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for all your information.
When we come back, we head to Hot Springs and one of the state's great hiking and biking trails. Arkansas's Great Outdoors is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, by Visit Hot Springs, America's first resort, by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, by Vexus Boats, and by Certified Arkansas Baitfish, the safe.
There's a lot of heritage at Vexus Boats. We've been around a long time. We've been designing boats and creating experiences for customers for 50 plus years.
There's a confidence when you get in our boats that you will not find anywhere else.
A lot of times we go out in the wind and the rain and snow and sleet, but we go on with confidence in a Vexus boat. From the shape of the hull, the dry ride, the airwave seat pedestals.
The VX20 was phenomenal. I mean, the way it handled was incredible.
You just kind of see that confidence when you're at takeoff and it is blowing and you look at another guy that has a Vexus and it's just like, this is going to be fun.
And I have confidence in that I'll get to my spot and get back no matter what the weather is, no matter how windy it is. This boat handles rough water.
Confidence is built into every Vexus we build. That's due to the fact that we have got people from the top down that have been a part of this industry since its very inception.
If you look at our fiberglass product, it is unique. We say lighter, faster, stronger. When we started the infused composite construction process, that's what we had in mind, a more consistent, lighter, stronger vessel.
The hull design is really why the hull can run so hard and so fast in rough water. It's designed to basically part the water instead of push through it.
You don't feel that fatigue. You don't feel that driving force of the water coming up through the boat. You just feel more comfortable at the end of the day.
With a Vexus boat, we work very hard from the way that boat is built to the way it's finished and rigged to give you absolute peace of mind. And all you have to worry about is filling that live well.
We thank Vexus Boats for helping bring this program to you, the best in the business from right here in Flippin, Arkansas. Now, we sometimes take great trails for granted. They appear just like nature designed them specifically for us to be able to enjoy a stroll through a forest wonderland. But all trails need some maintenance, and the team at TACO, which stands for Trail Advocacy Coalition of the Ouachitas, joined up with Lee and Mallory to help clear the way for many to enjoy the amazing views along Hot Springs Northwoods.
Guys, thank y'all for coming out. Really appreciate this. We've got some overgrowth going on this trail. Pretty much anywhere sunlight can get to it is where we usually are having our issues. Anything on the side of the trail that you'd brush up with your handlebar, that's usually kind of how I think about it. If we were running on the perimeter of this rock right here on the edge, what would your handlebar be hitting when you come around that turn? I'd simply come through here like this, and I'd go ahead and give it quite a bit of room to run out, something like that. That way we're not doing this again tomorrow. And I'll take this duff, this loose matter, and just kind of distribute it into the woods. We don't want piles of things. We want to try to keep it looking as natural as we can out here. Kind of slows down the erosion and leaves a little bit better presented trail when we're done.
So today I'm with Tracy from the Northwoods Trail Coordinator. She's letting me bring the E-Series to give it a go for a trail maintenance day. Thank you so much for having us out.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
So can you tell us a little bit about what we're doing?
Okay, so we're here today cleaning off one of our blue trails here at the Northwoods. As we get a lot of rain in the spring and then the summer heat and sun and all that comes, we start to have a lot of vegetation grow over the trail, and that's when riders and hikers and runners are like, ooh, I don't want to go out there, I'm going to get bugs on me, leaves are going to hit me, chiggers, all this kind of stuff. And so we really like to cut that back and open up the trail corridor for folks to have a pleasant experience on the trail, and also to create a line of sight for those riders. When you're coming around bends and things, if you have a lot of growth, especially this time of year, you know, with leaves on everything, it can inhibit your line of sight, and you want to know what's coming up.
And you guys have an incredible team out here. I mean, we have some that are raking, we have some that are using the trimmers, we have a chainsaw going. How important is it for those who actually use the trail to be able to come out here and volunteer?
I mean, it's really big. I mean, it gives them a sense of ownership, and you know, these are their home trails. They might go and ride other trails in our region or around our state or even out of state, but this is what they're riding the most on the daily after work, on the weekends when they're at home. And I think it gives them that ownership, because it's not our trail system as far as the staff here, it's everyone's trail system.
And to touch more on that, I thought it was really unique how we had some that are hikers and they were kind of giving us, well, you know, if you do it this way, it's really good for the hikers. And then we had a bike rider that came through, he's like, well, on the bankment, it's really neat to kind of shave this off a little bit because I use that. So having those different perspectives really brings a lot to the trail maintenance team.
Yeah, yeah. So we're excited, and we're really lucky to have these guys. And like, you know, trail, we build it like, oh, we want to build all this trail, but it doesn't maintain itself. Right. You know, usage is a big part of that, but you've got to maintain it if you really want it to be used and for people to come out and enjoy it. And so this is big. It's a very big part of it.
Well, thank you for bringing us out and letting me bring out the E-Series to give it a go on the trails.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
There are many groups that work trails all over Arkansas, so you can enjoy them every day in the natural state. If you'd like to participate, Tracy encourages you to find a group near you and will help you if you email her at tberry@hotsprings.org. This group handled a quarter mile of trail in fairly short order. Every little bit helps. As Tracy said, these trails don't take care of themselves.
Mallory, we learned a lot about trail cleanup today. What did you think?
Oh my goodness, I had no idea how extensive and how many trails Arkansas had. I mean, it was amazing. In fact, what do you think about doing maybe a trail maintenance girl trip?
I love it. I love it, as long as we get to ride afterwards.
Oh, most definitely. Well, it looks like the rain is coming, the thunder's in the background. Let's head out.
Sounds great.
We thank you for watching today. We visited the original mountain bike guru of Arkansas to see its early strides in our state. You saw Arkansas's famous minnows catching bass in Florida. You learned about kayaks, and finally saw a great trail cleanup in Hot Springs. We appreciate you watching this program every week, and we appreciate the sponsors who make it all possible. When you get a chance, show them some appreciation as well. And we will see you somewhere in Arkansas's great outdoors. Thanks for watching.